Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a conversation where the other person is nodding, saying, Yes, I'm listening, but you know their mind is somewhere between Instagram reels and homework? If yes, then don't worry. I've been that person too. So today is not about blaming anyone, it's about noticing something we all do, all of us. Have you ever realized that we live in the most connected generation ever? We have group chats, we have streaks, video calls, voice notes, and a lot of other things. But some people still feel unseen, not unloved or unfriended, but just unseen and unnoticed. And I feel like that's quite strange because how can all of us be so connected yet still miss each other at the same time? Think about how we listen today. We don't listen. We say, Sorry, what were you saying? And then we continue pretending to listen with 12% battery attention with phone in one hand and mind in another dimension. I've realized something important, and that is that most of the friendships do not end with big fights. They don't end loudly, they end in silence. They end quietly. People will never suddenly walk away. They'll just slowly stop being present. The replies will start to get shorter. The conversations will start to feel forced, and eye contact slowly disappears. I noticed this not because someone came and told me, but because I started observing people more often. I started observing how rarely we truly listen and how fast we speak. I started observing how often the most quietest person in the room has the most amount of words to say, but only if we give them enough space. So, how are we actually going to do this? We need more presence. I've prepared three simple but powerful actions that all of us can implement. The first is being present. Because presence is not always exciting, sometimes it's awkward silence. Being present, even when it's uncomfortable, it's not always exciting. But that is exactly where connection grows. The second thing that all of us can do is notice who becomes quiet. Because every group has that one person who suddenly goes quiet. That one person who slowly stops talking. Not because they're bored or because they're boring, but just because they feel ignored. And if you notice someone going quiet, don't ask them loudly, What's wrong with you and what happened? Just include them. Look at them and wait. Sometimes that's all it takes. And the last thing all of us can do is listening without planning what to say next, listening without planning a reply. Most of us listen just enough to respond. But real listening doesn't mean that. Real listening means not correcting, not interrupting, but just understanding. Because when you help someone else feel seen, you don't just change their mood, you change the way they look at the world. We don't need more friends. We do not need louder conversations. All we need is just more presence. Because I'm going to repeat that because if you help someone else feel seen, you don't just change their mood, you change their soul. You change the way they look at the world. And most importantly, you remind them that they matter. And that's everything. Thank you all for listening.